What's going on, guys? My name is Matt, and VR is generally thought of as something that has to be expensive, hard to set up, and take up a lot of space, but that all changes with the new Quest 2 from today's sponsor, Oculus. The Quest 2 is a $300 standalone VR headset with a built-in Snapdragon XR2 based computer that's capable of playing a lot of VR games, meaning no PCs needed. With that being said, what's cool is it also offers the option of connecting to your desktop or laptop to get the full PCVR experience. And there's even an experimental way of playing PCVR games wirelessly with this headset, and let me tell you, wireless VR is an incredible experience. In this video, I'm going to give you the rundown on the specs of the Quest 2, what comes with it in the box, and finally what it's like to use as a standalone device and what it's like to use connected to a PC. As you may imagine, the 2 in the name means that this is in fact the second version of this headset. This Quest 2 is an upgrade from the original Quest in pretty much every way. There's an over 50% increase in pixels per eye, with an increase in frame rate from 72Hz to what will soon be 90Hz refresh rate in an upcoming software update. The CPU and GPU chipset has had a substantial upgrade to the XR2 platform, and there was also a 50% increase in RAM capacity from 4 to 6 GB. And even with all these upgrades, Oculus still managed to decrease the overall weight and size of the device, maintain a similar level of battery life, and decrease the starting price by $100, which makes this, in my opinion, the most accessible, good quality VR has ever been. The Quest 2 comes packaged really nicely. Pulling off the plastic and then pulling off the outer sleeve allows us to open up the box and be greeted by the device itself. In this little box, we find some setup/warranty guides, as well as a USB-C cable and a power adapter for charging the headset. Next, I took out the first controller, which has a nice matte, soft touch feel and a myriad of buttons to use in game. Sliding off this magnetic cover, we find a pre-installed battery, which is nice to see, and at the bottom of the controller is a wrist strap that keeps you from throwing your controller across the room. The other controller is the same but mirrored for your other hand. With these out, the only other things left in the box are the glasses adapter for those of you who wear glasses and the headset itself. The first thing I noticed when picking this up is the fact that it's surprisingly small and light for how much tech is packed inside. At a quick glance, we see the adjustable elastic headband, a number of sensors for inside-out tracking, and the adjustable lenses in the headset. Another thing I noticed when first handling the device is it also felt really well built and sturdy. Setting up the Quest 2 takes minutes. You will need the Oculus app, but once set up, you can do everything from the headset itself. With this being said, I still like using the app to browse games and other content available for the Quest 2. Once setup was completed and I downloaded some games, it was time to start testing. Using the internal computer to play VR works surprisingly well, even in more fast-paced games like Beat Saber and Superhot. With this being said, if you're new to VR, I would highly recommend checking out the First Steps app that comes with the device. This shows you the basic of VR, like what each of the buttons do and how to pick things up. Going into VR for the first time and seeing how vivid things are and seeing the ability to articulate individual fingers is pretty mind-blowing if you've never experienced it. The thing I really love about this being a standalone device is I can take it and play it pretty much anywhere that's indoors. For example, I took it into a garage, which unfortunately I don't have footage of, set the new boundaries in less than a minute, and then had a nearly 20 by 20 area to play in, which having that big of an area with no wires made for an incredibly immersive experience. I found things to be very smooth, but the update that enables 90Hz should be an awesome addition. The games I played internally on the headset included Beat Saber, Superhot, Vader Immortal, and Job Simulator, all of which are very fun. Beyond playing games internally, you also have the option to play connected to a PC for higher visual fidelity and a larger selection of games. To enable this, all you have to do is get an adequate USB cable that's 2.0 or higher, but USB 3 is preferred, and plug it in your PC. You can then use the Oculus desktop app to launch games and other PC VR content. This gives you access to a ton of content, including big AAA VR games like Half-Life Alyx. I found using the Quest 2 with Oculus Link was a very smooth experience and pretty comparable to my Rift S. With this being said, when given the option, I will always play with the internal computer on the Quest because it means I don't have to worry about a wire, which can honestly be a big hindrance on immersion. With all this being said, there is a somewhat experimental way to play PC VR on the Quest 2 wirelessly wirelessly. This is through the use of the virtual desktop app that you can get in the Oculus store. This will require a pretty fast wireless router, but if you do have the bandwidth and ideal latency, then this can offer a very good experience. Playing PCVR wirelessly on a headset this inexpensive is unheard of and is an absolute game changer. Normally, to play wireless PCVR, you need a $600 headset and a $300 add-on to enable wireless. With this headset, you can do it for a fraction of the price. Again, going from having to use a wire to my PC to being able to play wirelessly is an experience I can't go back from. One thing to keep in mind is that while playing untethered, either gaming internally or with a PC, you will need to charge the device in between play sessions. I found my headset easily lasted over 2 hours and sometimes upwards of 3. This is a fair bit longer than any of my play sessions, so for me it worked great. Also, using the included charger gets the headset up to 100% fairly quickly. Like I've said before, this headset is in my opinion an absolute game changer. You don't need a fast PC to play games, setup is super simple, and you can play in pretty much any open indoor space. It used to be hard for me to recommend VR to the average gamer, but with the flexibility the Quest 2 offers, it makes it much easier to recommend this to anyone who's interested in VR. So there you have it. Thanks again to Oculus for sponsoring this video. If you guys like this video and want to see more VR content, let me know in the comments below. And as always, this is Matt from Tech by Matt, signing out.